Welcome to JP's Morning Brief for July 24th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. This is James Pierce with JP's Morning Brief. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Friday, and I'm back to a regular schedule. I like doing both the morning brief and the JPA report, and the last couple of days I just couldn't get it done, but I did it this time. Yesterday was a really cool day. I went to a Governor Abbott. I had a small business forum, and he does his economic um, development office does 15 of these around the state of Texas every year. And this year, we got to do one here in Copper's Cove. It was like 6 hours long, and the keynote speaker was one of the American Ninja champions, Vince Walker. He goes by Walker Texas Ninja, and he gave a really good, uplifting speech for everybody about not failing or quitting. And but it was really, really good, and I enjoyed myself. And to sacrifice one of my podcasts to go to it, it was worth it. All right. So, welcome this morning. As we get started, don't forget to click the follow button. To get to the follow button is you beside where it says the JPA report, you'll see a little bell. You click on the bell, and when you get to the bottom of it, it says follow. That's how you follow my podcast and any other podcast on Rumble. All right. And then please, if you wouldn't mind, you give me a thumbs up for a like. Like I always say, anytime I go to a podcast on Rumble, I always automatically give it a thumbs up, and then you can always take it back later. But I always give a thumbs up to give it an initial, "Hey, you're here, thanks." All right, and then you can jump in the chat. Right now, we got Covite for Life is in the chat with me. Good friend of mine. We actually went to Pints and Politics, Gatesville last night, and then just enjoy yourself, okay? Let's get going. Let's see. We got the armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the Armament Shop is Copper's Cove's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? JC can handle those classes. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Copper's Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023, or visit www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop. Your safety is our priority. All right. And to go along with that, he was at the Small Business Forum yesterday, too. I'm talking about Jason. That was really cool. Got to spend some good quality time. Looking forward to our range day we're having on August 29th. I got to get that little graphic up so we can start showing that off. We're allowing people to come out and shoot unlimited for $20 at a very good range. All right, so we got that. Now we got the Iran update. Explosions were heard across Iran last night. Across, not just around the Strait of Hormuz. It was the 13th night of airstrikes. Iran rejected a ceasefire proposal that was delivered by the Iraqi foreign minister. Oil keeps rising. Okay, I wrote that last night. I meant to adjust that. This morning you'll see oil is down like $4 a barrel. Okay, I don't know what happened. I looked at the news before I come out here because I do a lot of my outline in the evening time, but I could not see why oil dropped so precipitously. All right, but it did, and I'm not complaining. Um, Per Trump, frozen Iranian funds will be used for any ship that was struck by Iranian munitions. It'll be used for their repairs. Iran says it's not, but we say it will. There was a B-1 bomber used against Iranian targets. Iran warns the United Kingdom about letting us use the Diego Garcia. I guess they're insinuating that they got ballistic missiles. They could reach that far out. That's like a 2,000-mile journey. The Israeli defense minister says Iran faces a crushing blow if they attack Israel again. Kuwait was attacked again. There have been 12 vessels diverted, one disabled since the blockade was put back in place. And evidently Iran flew ROGC commanders and equipment to Yemen on July 13th. My question is, it's the 24th. That was 11 days ago. We started fighting before then. Again, why are we allowing aircraft out of the country of Iran to fly to other Middle Eastern countries? A blockade, well, maybe it's just an oil blockade, but they actually flew senior military officers to another country to do to start military action. Should never happen. We need some. This is my opinion. We need to do something about this military action that we're going through right now. We're either going to fight to win, or we're just going to walk away because we're making it harder for ourselves. I've been seeing polling. I'm not one of the fair weather polling people, but to me, we're touching them with kid gloves when we should drop the hammer on them and just take care of business and get it over with. Because if you give them a shock, they're going to come to a negotiating table. Or we can always be like President Grant, U.S. Grant, unconditional surrender. We got to do something, and we got to do it quickly, okay? Because all they're doing is stringing us along until they can extract as much political damage on us as possible. That's what they want to do. Where am I at? Before I went on that little tangent, the Dow Jones yesterday closed down 506.90 points at 51,711.65. This morning, West Texas Intermediate was at $88.85 a barrel, and Brent crude oil was at $96.70 a barrel. All right, so that's your Iran update. Our final announcements. I'm sorry. We have tomorrow, talking about Iran, we have Coryell County Republican Women. We have our monthly meeting. I'm a member of them also at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at 1802 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Coppers Cove. That's Trinity Worship Center behind Walmart. Okay. But they got a guest speaker, Dr. Mark Fulmer. He's going to be talking about the geopolitical implications in the greater context of the red-green axis. Like I say, they're going to be talking about Islamicism. All right, on Monday, July 27th, we have at 6 p.m. the West Side Conservative Coalition. It's going to be located at Papa's Cafe in Harker Heights at 6 p.m. The point of contact is Dennis Faulkner, right? So Papa's Cafe, 6 p.m., Harker Heights on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we have Coryell County Republican Party, again at 6 p.m. We're meeting this time at the junction of Route 36 in Gatesville. It's on Route 36 on the north side. In the Norm Mitchell, our party chair, is going to conduct our CEC. We're going to go over some bylaw stuff. And at the same time, talk about the fish fry, which is going to come up on September 26th, and we're going to go over the the gun day we're going to have on August 29th. The next is Pints and Politics in August 6th at Belton at the Dead Fish Grill, 6 p.m. All right, that's the initial announcement for that. Let's see, go back there. And then we have on August 11th, we have Coppers Cove Conservative Club. That's just mark the date, okay? It's always at Giovanni's on the, and this one will be on the 11th of August. All right, so here we go. We have, oh man, I didn't even write it down. Okay, well, Hassan Piker yesterday, I know, Mao himself, incarnate, right? This guy's got serious issues with himself because he's a flaming communist. He twitches. If you don't know who he is, he has his own podcast platform. It's on Twitch. I don't even have a Twitch account. Never been on Twitch. My daughter was telling me how one of her best friends has a Twitch account and does podcasting on it. But yeah, this guy, he's a work of art. He's a flaming communist, socialist, however, they're the same people. But he made a choice yesterday on who he, or day before yesterday, on who his pick to be the next presidential person in the United States. He chose Anastasia Ortiz, what's her name? Cortez, okay? AOC, aka Sandy Cortez. So, far left Twitch streamer Hassan Piker selected Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio Cortez over a slate of other prominent Democrats as his preferred 2028 presidential candidate on Wednesday, arguing that AOC would excite the Democrat Party's base and bring infrequent voters to a winning coalition. When asked to choose between AOC and Ro Khanna as a preferred candidate, Piker immediately selected the New York Congresswoman. AOC it's not even a question, Piker said in a podcast interview with Zedio. Piker made the choice at the end of a rapid fire exercise that began with Gavin Newsom and former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel. The list later included former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris, John Ossoff, J.B. Pritzker, Chris Van Hollen, and Ro Khanna. Piker said AOC stood apart from the other potential contenders presented to him. AOC is, out of all the people that you mentioned, Piker said, AOC is the only one that I like because she's a good bartender, okay? She doesn't know nothing about leading our country. Piker acknowledged that her race and gender could present electoral obstacles, but rejected the argument that now he made a DEI statement, right? Wow. But these hurdles that one could clear. Piker argued Cortez could overcome these barriers by campaigning with conviction and reaching out to voters who don't regularly participate in elections. As long as you have moral conviction, as long as you can excite the base, as long as you can actually create a unique coalition to activate low propensity voters, Piker said, which I think AOC has the capacity to do, it would be a fantastic left candidate. Except for she does not have a clue what she's even talking about. He's a communist. She's borderline. She's almost there. This is the perfect opportunity. Third time is the charm, right? Clinton lost, Harris lost, and AOC will lose. She's just like Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, she's just like Jasmine Crockett. And she talks a lot. She does not have a clue what she is even speaking about. Ask her, what has she done for her entire congressional district? Does anybody know what AOC has done for her congressional district? So what would she do for the country or even the state of New York? Probably nothing, except for make life miserable for everybody and take away our rights, because she falls in line with the DSA people, and you see what they want to do. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on JP8 report. The next one is James Carville. I can't even fathom the reason why I even bring up James Carville's name, because he is one hatred-filled person. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So he is telling people that are Democrats, just quit fighting. And that's in regards to voter ID requirements. He says it's a 75% approval issue, and that just to get it over with so they can get on to other businesses. They're just making the rest of the country more apt to go away from the Democrat Party if they keep fighting the president on this. He's writing here, veteran Democrat strategist James Carville warns Democrats Thursday that the American public believes they don't care about voter fraud, and the best thing that they can do is to stop fighting against voter ID requirements and move on to other issues. His comments come as Republicans in Congress have been pushing the Save America Act, which would create a new federal proof of citizenship mandate and in the voter registration process, and impose requirements on states to keep their voter rolls of ineligible voters, in addition to requiring photo ID in any federal elections. Carville argued that while he believes there is a negligible amount of voter fraud, refusing to put up photo ID safeguards against it is a terrible hill for Democrats to die on. He quoted, "First of all, in Louisiana, you got to show your driver's license to vote," Carville said. He said that on Politics War Room. "I have to ask Michael Waldman or Fred Wertheimer, does this really have much effect?" And the voter fraud in the United States is an infinitesimal problem, to the extent I would guess to say if it exists, and it does, the president already proved it. But anything could exist. It exists as much at a minuscule scale, and it is proven time and time and time again. Oh, by the way, that's enough for James Carville before I throw up. Just talk about tonight. The president will be at the newly rescheduled White House Correspondents Association. The dinner got rescheduled for tonight. That is because you remember that guy tried to breach the ballroom to take out the president, and he didn't make it, so that was good. And also, this evening is another rescheduled launch of Flight 13 from SpaceX. All right. Next, the White House and John Thune square off about Save America Act. Right. So President Donald Trump's patience with Senate Majority Leader John Thune and fellow Senate Republicans is running out as the chamber fails to advance his legislative priorities. The White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said on Thursday his patience is running out. She told reporters at the press briefing. Trump, in particular, frustrated that the GOP controlled chamber cannot pass the Save America Act which aims to require those who want to vote in federal elections to provide proof of birth certificate to register and a photo ID to cast a ballot. Thune, with 51 GOP senators, does not have the 60 votes required to pass a bill and to face long odds in the Senate Parliament would allow it to pass with a simple, it should say the Senate parliamentarian would allow it to pass by a simple majority. And then he goes, get on a phone and get the votes, right? Thune said in a response to Levitt's comment. He also said he doesn't have the votes to change the chamber's procedure known as the filibuster to lower the voting margin. This is what I suggest. Thune is an obstructionist. And just like Miss Luna over in the House of Representatives, maybe the senators should block everything that goes before the Senate until they pass the Save America Act. That would be a good thing to do. That would be a very good thing to do, because if you get a group of about 5 Republicans or 6 that says, you know what, you want that, I guarantee you're not going to get above 60 votes, because we won't allow that vote to happen. And just sit back and not change your mind at all. The total boycott. In November, when the Republicans maintained the House and the Senate, he needs to be replaced badly. And they got 652. All right. So on good news, the president won a battle in Tennessee. So Tennessee redistricted their, I believe, their 9th congressional, either the 7th or 9th, right? But they redistricted, took the majority minority out of the equation, so it got equal representation. And so a 3-judge panel at the Middle District of Tennessee on Thursday upheld the state's redraw of the House seats to eliminate the sole Democrat-leaning seat around Memphis. Opponents of the redraw argued that the maps violate the 14th Amendment and constitute illegal racial gerrymandering, and sought the injunction to block the maps on the left. The judges denied the motion, saying the plaintiffs were unlikely to succeed on their merits. Tennessee's redraw is one of the several that occurred across the South in the wake of a landmark ruling at the Supreme Court that narrowed the scope of the Voters' Rights Act and eliminated race-based congressional districts, because we elect people on their merits, not on their race at all in our country. If you want to get elected, you get out there and campaign. All right. And Stephen Cohen said he's not going to run for re-election anyway. So he's gone. And it's really funny. So they have a majority-minority congressional district, and they elect a leftist, white Democrat to represent them. It never made sense to me, and I guess it didn't make sense to the people in Tennessee, because they actually made it a fair district. Okay, so next. Mark Sanford. Mark Sanford in South Carolina. He's a congressman and a former governor. He actually threw his hat in the ring to run for the United States Senate seat. That was Lindsey Graham's seat. He's the governor that anonymously flew to Brazil about 10 years ago. All right. You got to read about it, okay? Former Representative Mark Sanford on Thursday announced that he would seek the late Senator Lindsey Graham's Senate seat, joining a crowded field of candidates that already include two sitting House members and Graham's sister. Sanford lost re-election in 2018 and later mounted a primary challenge to President Trump in 2020. He has positioned himself as a relatively traditional Republican, emphasizing national financial management in his campaign announcement. He said, our country is at a financial tipping point, and I can't sit on the sidelines while Washington adds trillions of dollars to debt every 100 days. Well, I understand that too. But I've spent my entire time in politics fighting this fight, and I'm running for the United States Senate to keep America's dream alive for our sons, grandson, and those who you love. Join us. And he said he's joining Darlene Graham, Norman, and Fry, and former Graham primary challenger Mark Lynch in a special primary on August 11th. Just remember, Norman is 73 years old. Sanford is about the same age, and he was the one that was the governor of South Carolina and caught a plane and flew to Brazil unannounced to anyone, and nobody knew where he was, to meet his girlfriend. That happened roughly about 10 or 15 years ago. All right. So be careful who you vote for before you go out and vote. All right. Next, we have Senator Eric Schmidt released information about the Biden administration. So, temporary protective status that was made to accommodate populations of other countries that are enduring economic hardship due to natural disasters or stuff that happens, and they're meant to come here temporarily and then go back to their home countries, right? Well, there's records that were produced about Joe Biden and his involvement in. He says Missouri Republican Senator Eric Schmidt shared documents on Thursday that appeared to show former President Joe Biden's advisors encouraging Joe Biden, President Otto Penn, to extend temporary protective status for millions of non-citizens, to extend it, okay? The documents, which were given to the former president after the 2024 election, but before Donald Trump took office, emphasized the importance of Biden administration of extending protections to 3.1 million people. The documents suggest Biden extend the status for migrants from 5 countries: Afghanistan, Nicaragua, Sudan, Ukraine, and Venezuela. It also suggests he extend the status for 2 other countries, Ecuador and Guatemala. And this was in the lame duck time between the election day and inauguration day that tried to stick it to President Trump because they wanted as many people in our country as possible and prevent him from having immigration customs enforcement from deporting them back to their countries. All right. So 3.1 million people are involved in that scenario. This is the left trying to stick it to the right. And then, what is it, 6:59? Yep, we got about 30 seconds. So, hey, I'm going to go ahead and initiate the raid for Vince. I will see you all in an hour for the JPA report. And we can cover some of that and plus more, okay? This next one would have been pretty good to cover. All right, so I will see y'all in about 1 hour, okay? If I'm able. Wow, my voice is gone. Okay, the rate is confirmed, so I can stop breathing. 7 seconds. So you have a great morning. I'll see you in about 1 hour. All right, it's James Pierce. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out.